Hello, fellow fleet and mobility players. So today we're going to talk about artificial intelligence. So it's or simply known as AI. In the fleet and mobility industry, it can help optimize efficiency, improve safety, facilitate connectivity, enable autonomous driving. What else? But also it can be used to invade your privacy maybe, or maybe even used for things that are not so good. But that's true for, I guess, almost any technology, I guess. But today's guest that we have today, as you can see, is Manuj Aggarwal. He's an elite technology consultant. He's a business mentor, an advisory board member for AI strategies, and also a keynote speaker on AI and the future of humanity. And of course, CIO of TetraNoodle. So, how's it going, Manuj?
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
And so that's a nice background you got there. Looks very zen and very, that's a nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you at now?
I'm in Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver. I've been there. Yeah, it's a nice city. There is a long bridge over there. I forgot what it's called, the Capilano Bridge or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like an Indiana Jones bridge or something. Yeah. So I guess let's get down to the questions. The first one that I have here is last year I would turn on the news and they're always talking about AI. So AI
Mhm.
was the go-to topic in 2023. And do you think the hype of AI is still here, or is it has it cooled down a bit? What do you think?
The thing is that a lot of people have a misunderstanding that AI just showed up and it is recent phenomena, but AI has been around since the 60s, right? And people who have understood this technology, they have built large companies since that time. Like even if we talk about recent times, Amazon started in 1997, and when somebody orders a package on Amazon, they get it same day or next day. It's not because Amazon has a huge workforce just waiting for you to order what you want, but it is all because of AI. Tesla is built on AI, Facebook is built on AI, Twitter is built on AI. So the hype is not gone,
Yes, I
it is
remember that
actually.
Amazon. They were like one of the first you would see. They're like, I can see they're like tracking me and they know what I like and stuff like that.
Exactly. So the hype is not gone. It actually is just starting, because now what has happened is, in the past 20 years, people with money, people with resources, with deep knowledge, they knew that, okay, AI is the technology that can fundamentally change business and how we work, how we behave in the world. But now with ChatGPT, everyone can use it. So the hype has just started. The news cycles are always going to be up and down. So being in journalism, I think you know this pretty well. But as a technology, I think the applications of AI are just going to explode moving forward now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess a lot to look forward to. It'll be interesting. So let's see what happens. I work with automobile fleet and mobility and stuff like that. So when it comes to like corporate car fleets, imagine a company has a lot of cars. AI can be used for a lot of applications. Maybe it could. Uh, um, I don't know. Could you give our viewers maybe an idea of what you see that AI can do to help corporate fleet?
Yeah, I mean, see, the impact of AI is going to be very similar to just like fire or electricity. So wherever you think that electricity is used, you can imagine AI will be used. So starting from, okay, when you get a car included in your
I'm sorry, I
fleet,
didn't. Would you say wherever what can be used? What did you say?
electricity, electricity,
Uh-huh.
electricity, electricity, power. So
Electricity, yeah, power. Okay, yeah, sure, sure.
yeah. So, to think about management of fleet, like scheduling, maintenance, there's a lot of money that goes into maintenance of cars. So, if imagine you are able to collect data on your car and say, okay, in the next 2 weeks, it is likely that something is going to go wrong with this car. So, rather than waiting for those 2 weeks, you can bring the car in for repair now and have proactive maintenance, right? So that's one
And
thing,
give you an idea of the future, I guess.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Fuel efficiency, another one. Scheduling is another one. When people get into accidents, like self-driving is a very, very prominent use case, because I was in San Francisco in December, and San Francisco is a very busy city, but there are cars now, driverless cars. You can just get them on the phone, just like Uber, and there is no driver in the car.
Mhm.
And their
Yeah, yeah.
safety rating is better than humans, because humans are not the best drivers, especially if we are emotional. We had a fight that day with our spouse or whatever it is. Like, our senses are not as sharp every day. But in case of AI,
You don't think AI is emotional? No? I guess we're not programming that into them.
not at all.
Or maybe
Well,
we will, I
it's a
don't know.
very interesting conversation. I have had this conversation with many people. In order to program emotions, first you really need to understand what emotion is. Like, so far nobody has been able to even define where we get emotions from. What is the feeling? I mean, there has been a lot of research on the brain, where do consciousness comes from and all that, but nobody has been able to say, how do we feel, how do we create emotions, right? So in order for AI to understand it, first humans need to understand it.
Sure, sure, sure. So yeah, like you said, so optimizing efficiency in the fleet operations, and of course, improving safety. These are two key things that AI can help in the fleet operations. My next question, I guess, um, okay. So what about mapping out the environment, like the things that you have? Like you can have cameras on the cars, you can map out the environment, and you can help with actually, AI can help, I guess, with car-to-car connectivity, and even the cars can be connected to the environment, the infrastructure around the city. I guess so that can be used for that. AI can be used for that kind of stuff too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that is coming. I think within the next decade, we will start seeing it, where the cars are connected with each other. They can talk to each other. The streets will also have. I mean, in North America, we already see there are sensors at traffic lights. So the traffic light knows how much traffic there is, and depending upon
Yes,
that,
please. We
you
need
know,
that. I sometimes I hit traffic lights and they're not smart, and they're just there's no
yeah.
cars there, and you're just waiting.
Yeah, exactly. And so to take this analogy, like, if somebody has done air travel, I mean, most of the airplanes are not flown by pilots. All they do is
Yeah,
make sure that the plane is in the air, and then they say, okay, autopilot takes over, and each plane understands where other planes are, and there's a central
yeah.
control,
It's
like air
already in
traffic control
aviation.
system, which is sending automatic instructions to the autopilot to make sure that the planes are going in the right direction. And so none of us, we think about, oh, who's flying the plane. We're just sitting there enjoying the flight. That kind of same experience, that kind of same technologies are coming now in the automotive space as well.
Um, but nowadays, everybody likes to record everything. I don't know. You go to those shows and they're watching a show, some band, and they're not even watching. They're like recording it. So, um, AI, I guess, in cars seem like they're having more and more cameras in the cars. So AI can be supported with like video related applications. And in the cars today, I don't know. Is there anything that we can add as to how all these cameras and AI can support this with the vehicles?
See,
I guess
new
what we said about
technology.
car-to-car connectivity, it involves a lot of cameras as well, but I don't know if there's anything else that we could.
See, the new technologies for sensing other vehicles and all that, they will keep evolving. There's going to be, we started with radar, and then there's a lidar, and computer vision. There's thermonuclear cameras. All kinds of technologies are being used, and they will continue to evolve. But the idea is that at the basic level, in a vehicle, what do we have to take care of? We have to take care of, we are going in the right direction, we are on the right street, and we don't hit any other obstacle or vehicle or pedestrian, right? These are the main three things. And of course, speed control is another one. So all these things a human mind has to coordinate well at each and every instant as we are driving. So regardless of what technology is used, cameras will not go anywhere. um, but cameras can be supplemented with other sensing technologies, and all these three or four vital operations that happen in our mind, they can be offloaded to a artificial intelligence, right? Now, that is not to say that humans will have no control, or they will be completely disconnected from the car. There will be provisions where if there is an emergency or something along those lines, the human can take over, the human can interfere.
You were already talking about self-driving. I don't know if we the people use different terms, a self-driving car or autonomous vehicle or whatever it is. You've seen them around already, like you mentioned, I guess there in California, and but it's just still in the testing phase. Do you when do you think that it's going to be like kind of like a large percent of the cars are autonomous? I guess it depends on the country as well. And do you think that people will accept this? Do you think people are accepting it, or are they concerned about it, or are they accepting autonomous vehicles?
See, okay, so the first question is, when are they going to start accepting it? So Waymo is the company that is deploying self-driving cars, and they are already in five major cities in US. Okay, China already has autonomous cars. They also have like flying taxi service, so they are even just starting autonomous air taxi, where the car is not even limited to the road. It can actually fly, and almost like a helicopter, drop you on a different
Yeah,
location.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so these things are already happening. So when we say that these are in test phase, they are way ahead of the test phase. Now, mass deployment will take time, because like with any other technology, it takes time. So in my opinion, the next
And you got
five
you got
years
legislation involved too. You got to change legislation, and I was talking with someone else. I think it was just yesterday that if we have self-driving cars and we have regular human drivers, it might be a problem. It's almost like you need to change it like that, and they're all self-driving or they're all autonomous. Because if you have the two together, I don't know. We're gonna have a transitionary phase. It might take like 10 years, I guess. We'll
Yeah.
see what
No,
happens.
I mean, again, if you go experience these cars in the city, in San Francisco, Phoenix, some other cities, they are coexisting with human drivers. There is no
Yeah, yeah.
there is no barrier to say that it has to be all autonomous. But what I'm trying to say is, like, every technology takes time for adoption. In this case, it may not take that much time. In fact, I think within 5 years, majority of the cars will be driven by machines. And I think in the next 10 to 15 years, I think there will be laws against humans driving cars.
Yeah. Well, let's see how. Let's see. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Um, uh, well, the next question I want to ask you is related to, maybe let's take a brief look at the dark side of AI. I guess I mean, first of all, it can invade your privacy, can it? And or maybe even worse, you can use AI for things that are quite dangerous. I don't know. What do you think? How can we control all of this?
Yeah, I mean, all these are valid concerns, like any other technology. So take a regular car, right? I can drive the car to go to grocery store and get my groceries, or I can use it as a weapon and run over somebody and kill somebody. So every technology has good and bad, right? In case of AI, regarding privacy, you will notice that everything that we are doing is already being tracked. Like, take out your mobile phone, and the amount of information that they track on each and every human uh, is like astonishing. They know more about us than we know about ourselves already. So the idea here is, to start using the same technology to protect our privacy. So I've been part of many initiatives where we are creating personal AI, where our data belongs to us. We are not sharing that data with anybody else. So the idea is that this technology is neutral. It can be used to invade your privacy, but it also can be used to protect your privacy. It's just how we use it. In terms of using it for other nefarious purposes, uh, absolutely, like, we can make weapons with it, we can make poisons with it, we can do all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that humans using the technology are the source of good. 95% of the humans on this planet, they don't mean harm, they want to do good. So once you give them good technologies, they always look for, okay, how can we improve lives of others? And we need to focus on that, and trust that the good in humans will prevail. I mean, that's how we have survived so far, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, yeah, so I think regardless of the concerns, like you said, I don't think AI is going to go away. We can't run away from it and just embrace it. 95% of the people are good, and or maybe even more, because it seems like it's going to be here. It's here to stay, and we just need to bring it into our world the right way. I have a final question over here. Is where would you say the mecca of AI is? Because I've been to a lot of different places. I see a lot of it taking place in California, um, or I don't know what. Where do you think? Where's it? Where's it happening? And also maybe if you can highlight some companies that we should keep an eye on. I know you mentioned Waymo, or maybe any other companies, and also maybe some specific projects that we can look forward to in the near
Sure.
future.
I think, if you talk about countries, you'll be surprised. Major developments are happening in Asia. China is by far ahead of anybody else, in terms of AI. Israel, India, these countries have invested so much into AI, that they are far ahead. But as we all know, US is the biggest economy. So even if China is ahead in adoption of AI, in terms of number of dollars that are going into AI, I mean, US is number one. So it is very much like a arms race now. AI is the next frontier for any nation, any any country, any economy. So it is a race towards getting supremacy in AI, no doubt about that. And whichever country is the winner, they will rule the world moving forward. Because even things like war and all that, I don't think we will have like traditional wars anymore. It'll be just digital wars, where people are just trying to steal each other's data, or jam their like power grids, or these kind of tactics to wage war. I mean, so the idea is that this technology is so powerful that every country is going to try and gain gain expertise in that. In terms of companies, the right now AI is being controlled by major, like maybe six companies. Okay, so Microsoft, Google, Facebook. These are a few main companies. But I think what will end up happening, the landscape is going to shift rapidly, because AI will be used to create new AIs. Now we are at a point where human intellect is no longer a barrier. Resources are no longer a barrier. Somebody sitting in their basement, like a student, can create a brand new AI using AI. It can just say, okay, come up with a new idea for this industry, and then they can start working on it. In my opinion, I think within the next 10 years, there's going to be public companies listed on the stock exchanges with one employee, which is the CEO, and everything else is done by AI.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't have any more questions now, but now I'm just curious about unemployment. So I guess you said okay, one employee there, but I guess we're gonna have to like direct the work toward other types of things. And then, I mean, if it's gonna take people's work, so that would be
Yeah.
like, I
So
don't know, AI technicians or something like that, right?
so the thing is that, again, we look at, let's go back in history and look at major advancements in science and technology, right? So people used to work in the fields all day long. Like 99% of the population used to work in the fields, like for every waking hour they were in the fields, right? Then machines came along, steam engine came along. There was a lot of disruption. People were scared what was going to happen. There was a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
protests, right? But at the end of the day, people slowly realized that, okay, if I was working in the farm and now I'm working in a factory, I get paid more, I have to work less, and my quality of life is better, actually. The job of a mechanic pays more than a field worker, you know and then
Yeah,
digital.
like too with the invention with the car. So in the past,
Yeah,
people used to ride horses, and then they invented the car. Like, oh no, now all the people who work with horses, they're gonna lose jobs. But now look what the car industry has done.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So the idea is that, disruption is going to happen. People who can embrace new technologies, they find new opportunities, and people who resist it, sometimes they have to pay the price, but sooner or later they have to get on with the program. How many, as you mentioned, horses, right? How many cities in the world you can say, okay, I can take a horse on a freeway, on a highway, and ride that horse where cars are zipping by at like 90 kilometers an hour. None of the cities I can do that. It's outlawed. So
yeah. You're giving.
if we stick with our old ways, we are not going to go far.
Yeah, so it looks like we need to turn the page and keep turning the pages, and see what's on the horizon, what's going to happen tomorrow. Manuj, we don't have so much more time. I guess that's about it for today. And I guess I want to say thanks. It was interesting. Uh, would like to talk again, maybe in the future, find out what's happening, maybe in a few months, because they're probably going to have something new to talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, thanks, Manuj, for your time, and also thanks for everyone out there that's watching. And I hope you got some interesting insight about AI. And remember that we're going to be broadcasting more videos with a variety of topics related to fleet and mobility. And last but not least, we're going to launch our website on a special day, which is leap year. It only comes around like every 4 years. So that's on February 29th. We're going to launch our website, fleetmobilitytoday.com. And that's about it. Thanks,
Thank
Manuj.
you so much. Thank you.
Okay, take care, everybody.